giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Friday. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by Boston Scientific. We stream it live on YouTube and Facebook, and of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker. Still, boom. It's Friday night. What's up, squad? It's Fan Friday, actually. It's not Friday night. And we're going to attack the mailbag. We got some fun questions today in the mailbag from all over Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So we'll have some fun with that later. Also, that rumor mill, man, it just keeps spinning. It just keeps on spinning around these Dallas Cowboys. We'll talk about some of the things that have dropped yesterday and another one. The Cowboys get another one to return to the team. And this guy is one of the more underrated guys on that unit. So we'll discuss all of that in the roundup. But first, good morning, good Friday, Cowboys Nation, a.k.a. Bomb Squad.
Bomb Squad!
No, sir, that will never happen. We ain't, I mean, y'all too crazy. But what's up with y'all, man? It's Friday. We got a good show lined up. Like I said, the mailbag was good this week. I couldn't get everybody's question, but I tried to grab what I could, and I think we'll have some good conversation. We'll have our hot take later on, which it might be a hot take to the rest of the league, but this is where my fan hat may come on. This is where I'm pretty sure most of y'all will agree with this hot take later on, but we'll get to that and much, much more. Plus, we're here from B, from the Cochran Firm later on the hotline. By the way, you can call in 351-999-3787 if you want to get your takes off. We had so many callers yesterday, I didn't get a chance to get to everybody. So if you want to get in today, please do so. All right, let's go ahead and jump straight into it, Cowboys Nation, because I want to get to these questions. I want to talk to y'all, and I want to get this Friday started. I'm going to keep it a bean with you.
It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time. It's time.
It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Oh, they do it. Hey, oh, they do it.
Hey, yo. My guy, CJ Goodwin, is back, ladies and gentlemen. The Cowboys re-signed CJ Goodwin to a 1-year deal, which will make his 6th season with the Cowboys? 2021, 22, 6th season with the Cowboys, which sounds crazy. Now, the first year, he didn't really play much in 2018. I believe he was picked up, put on the practice squad. But ever since then, he's been with the boys, and he's been a critical part of that special teams unit. Him and Bones Fossil are very close, and he's rewarded him with his loyalty by being a damn good special teamer. I mean, every year, we see CJ Goodwin make a couple plays throughout the season on special teams. And the one he's probably most famous for is 2020 watermelon game, recovering that onside kick, being smart enough not to touch it. Last year, he had 7 special teams tackles, which tied for first on the squad. And that will be his 3rd season in a row where he's had at least 7 special teams tackles. And I think he was a good veteran presence for Kelvin Joseph, who had to translate his game to special teams because he couldn't take over the cornerback room. So getting CJ Goodwin back, I think, is great. Some people could say, hey, man, why not just let Kelvin Joseph take it over? Why not just sign some, random guy? Or why not just draft a dude and just let him do it? All fair. All possible that, those guys could have done the job. But CJ Goodwin is good at it, and he doesn't cost you a lot. All 53 players on your roster are not going to be dudes who are going to play 25 snaps a game on a specific unit. sometimes you need some special teamers, or you need some specialty players. Long snapper, kicker, punter, and at least one gunner like CJ Goodwin, I think, is mandatory. Obviously, the other ones are mandatory to have. If they're playing at that high level, you keep them around. No different than Matthew Slater for the Patriots. He don't do nothing else for you. But he's one of the best special teamers in the league. Welcome back, CJ. Look at all these rumors. Man, it's like every day there's a different rumor for the Cowboys, man. This one is interesting because it's not necessarily new, the name, but we finally have a concrete report from somebody close to the team, and that's Benjamin Albright, who reported yesterday, according to his sources, the price remains high for one Jerry Judy, and the Patriots, Browns, and Cowboys have inquired, aka due diligence. Also, the price is supposed to be a first-round pick or second-round pick plus a player. Denver, do you know who our general manager is?
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Sir, that's not happening. That's not happening. You know, they're not going to trade a first-round pick and a player for Jerry Judy. I don't think they're even going to trade a second-round pick for Jerry Judy. And we had this conversation yesterday on Vacha's show where, look, I would be ecstatic if we got one of the big four names that are floating around the Cowboys right now, right? But make no mistake about it, I would like to put all of those assets into getting the dude. And the dude is a guy over there in Arizona. Now, if you shoot for the stars and you fall in the clouds and it's Judy or Odell Beckham, oh, I'll be fine. You will see me coming on here.
Jello Beats, holla at me.
You will see me coming on here happy as hell. But first round pick, second round pick, Judy, plus what you got to, likely pay one of them dudes, I don't think Stephen Jones is going to do it. We talked about the hurdles, right? The same draft class as CD Lamb, meaning do you put the fifth round tenure on or fifth round option on both of those guys? Thinking about how the Cowboys operate, I don't think they'll do it. I like the player, I like the talent, I like the fit. I just don't think they'll do that for that price. Oh, but they did do the Will McClay, Stephen Jones special for Stephon Gilmore. Yes, sir. Trade a day 3 pick for a veteran in the twilight of his career that can hopefully give you one more year. Yeah, that's a Stephen Jones, Will McClay special right there. And they got one, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. D Generation X proudly brings to you Stephon Gilmore. He spoke with Pat Walker of DallasCowboys.com, and he talked about, proving himself and also helping these young bucks, right? Like a Deron Bland and let's be honest, Trayvon Diggs, Kelvin Joseph, Nashawn Wright. It's still a young room. And this is a little bit of what he said yesterday with Pat.
Nah, just, I've been in the league for a while, and it takes a lot of hard work, and you got to kind of have that short-term memory, no matter what you did in the past. You got to really prove yourself each and every year. So I'm just going to come in and do what I do, work hard. But, I do like teaching the youth, teaching them the things that I didn't know as a young player to help them be a better player.
Teaching the youth. Things that I didn't know as a young player to help them become a better player. We had the show a couple days ago where I featured the clip of Brian McFadden talking about a guy like Stephon Gilmore coming into this room. The minute he steps in that room, he's respected. Not saying these kids or these players disrespected other players, but he's respected. He's held to a higher regard to where if he says, hey, this is what you need to do, damn it, you do it. If he says, hey, let's come in here Tuesday, you come in here Tuesday. He also talked about, battling the CD Lambs of the world, the Michael Gallups, Dak Prescott, all those guys in practice. It's going to be one hell of a training camp. You know, it was telling last year in training camp about the defense, and it ended up all coming to fruition later on, or actually early on in the season, where the defense was lights out. And that kind of leads me to my hot take, Cowboys Nation. Kind of leads me to my hot take, which I don't think is a hot take to me, because I view these guys as a top unit. And today's hot take, of course, is brought to you by Hattie B's, man. No conversation about the Nashville's style hot chicken is complete without a serious mention of Hattie B's hot chicken. Founded in Midtown Nashville in 2012, Hattie B's is renowned nationally for its authentic Nashville hot chicken, and they have a new location downtown Deep Ellum in Dallas. Make sure y'all hit them up. They've got a variety of different levels of heat. The southern, the mild, the medium. It's the Daredevil's dream. Shut the cluck up. So visit the new location in Dallas, or hit them up at HattieBees.com for a delivery. There is a link in the description. Use that link. Sign up for a free rewards account, and you get $10 on your next meal. Come on now. You can't beat that. So, after further review, with the addition of Stephon Gilmore, a lot of people have been saying this, saying that. Well, where do you put him? After further review, I think this is the best secondary in the National Football League. I truly believe that. I had to go around and look. I had to think objectively. I had to say, what happens here? What happens there? No. Cowboys. You got an all-pro in his prime. You got a former defensive player of the year / all-pro / pro bowler still playing at a high level on the other side. In the middle of those guys, you got Deron Bland, young stud, up-and-comer, led your team in interceptions last year. Just as good from a physical standpoint against the run, maybe your most physical corner on the team in general. But here's a kicker. You got some depth, too. You got Jordan Lewis, who's the proven depth. We don't got to rely on Jordan Lewis if we don't want to. I think Deron Bland is the guy. But if you need to put J. Lou in there, J. Lou has been solid enough throughout his career to not be a liability. I think there was a difference between AB and J. Lou. AB felt like a liability. J. Lou just felt like you could do better, but quality depth and not a liability. Then you got Israel Mukuamu, kind of a jack of all trades guy. He can play some corner, can play some safety, play in the slot, play outside. Still a tiny bit of an unknown, but enough on film to say, hey, man, this is quality depth. This is quality depth. Not to mention the safety room, the three-headed monster, J-Ron Kearse, the tone setter, Donovan Wilson, the hitman, Malik Hooker, the steady presence back there. Yeah, Malik might not be the Pro Bowl player that we would love for him to be, but he was steady. And when one of those guys were out, J-Ron Kearse, he stepped up. He proved to you that he could step up. He could take ownership of the leadership role and live up to it. Because you could rah your way, but if you can't play, nobody cares. So I look around the league and I understand Jalen Ramsey in Miami. I get that with Xavier Howard and they got the young buck in the back. I understand you got the Broncos with their safety and their corner. And maybe I'm a little bit biased. But if you are a different fan from another team and you look at the Cowboys and you don't just, you may not know Malik Hooker. You may not know Deron Bland. You should know Stephon Gilmore and Trayvon Diggs, though. You may not know J-Ron Kearse. But if you truly do look, and then you add on Dan Quinn, what he could do with this team, it's the best. It's the best in the league. Now they just got to live up to it. And that kind of leads me into the first question. Apologies there. The first question of the mailbag segment. So let's get into that. I'll hit the phone lines after the first question. But I want to talk about why this unit in a specific package could be damn near deadly, y'all. Let's talk about that.
Time.
It is time for
You've got mail.
Gerald Powell, shout out to Gerald Powell, over on Facebook. He said, where would our weak point in the nickel defense be? With all this talent, where is the concern? So the fun thing about the Cowboys nickel defense is it can be a variety of different things. They have so many players from a depth standpoint that they can slide in and out of these positions. But I went ahead and I just put together a potential nickel package and what it could look like. And the beauty of this, like I said, is that you can throw different pieces in here, and I don't think you're missing much of a beat. But I went along and went with Gilmore and Diggs on the outside, Deron Bland in the slot, LVE, your linebacker with Jaron Kearse as the big nickel, Malik Hooker at free, and obviously Donovan Wilson at strong. The three-headed monster of Wilson, Hooker, and Kearse, they played the most snaps together on third down, aka the nickel defense. They played about 42% of their snaps together in nickel. So this is probably, those three guys are going to be on the field unless there's an injury majority of the time, unless it's 3rd and 1 or something like that. The interiors are the defensive line is where it gets fun. You can shift these things around. But I have Parsons, Armstrong, D-Law, Sam Williams. You can throw, depending on the down and distance, Osa in there. You can throw Golston in there, right? You can kick D-Law back on the outside. You can do so many different things with this one right here. But this is kind of just a standard version of this. So the question was, where would be the weak point? Where would be the concern? Actually, yeah, the concern was the question. I don't know that I'd be concerned, but if I'm going to attack something here, you're probably trying to get Wilson on a wide receiver down the field or something, but it's going to be hard to do. You know, that's going to be hard to do unless you come out 4 wide. And if you come out 4 wide, then I just bring him a dime package. But I'm not saying any defense is bulletproof, but Cowboys Nation, where is your concern, or do you have any concerns with this nickel defense? Now, I know a lot of people aren't high on LVE, but you know, I've come on here and I said throughout the year, one thing that I will say about LVE throughout the season last year when I watched film was that I thought he was pretty damn good in coverage. You know, did he have a whole bunch of picks? Was he breaking up a ton of passes? That's not necessarily what I'm talking about. He just was where he needed to be, and he covered ground well. He made quarterbacks come off that read. He had an understanding, was comfortable when he was in coverage. So I don't think LVE is a liability here unless you get him one-on-one with a running back, right? I got the backfield. Maybe now you got that advantage, but we're talking about dropping back into Tampa 2, dropping back in zone. I thought LVE played pretty well. Any concerns here? Gregory says it's always a run defense. So in nickel, I guess the understanding is that they're going to run the ball. I'm sorry, they're going to throw the ball, not necessarily run the ball. If we're talking about a run defense, I wouldn't put this defense out there. Nickel, we're looking at, you know, passing downs. Dono in coverage. LVE in coverage. I think LVE is good in coverage. I think he was good in coverage last year, at least. We'll see what happens this year. But he's pretty solid in coverage, man. Don't trust Bohanna. Yeah, he wouldn't be out there for this. I like it, and I think you can play around with this. You can move. You can put Sam Williams inside. You can take Armstrong out, bring in Osa. You can do a lot of things with this. You can put J-Ron in the slot if you need to, if it's a tight end type situation. You could bring Wilson down and blitz him. So a lot you can do right there, Cowboys Nation. Let me know how you feel. Let's get to the phone lines and hear what 336 has to say. Good morning.
Morning, Master William.
Master Will, what's good?
Nothing much. This is Malcolm from North Carolina. I had called the Botch show a couple of days ago.
That's how I know you watch Vach's show because he's the only one that says Master William. What's good?
I just wanted to, well, first of all, I just wanted to say, you know, the same way I said with Botch, I just appreciate you all's show and y'all's content.
Thank you, man.
You know, and bringing, a real view to this, and real news when it comes to the Cowboys. But anyway, I was calling because I was, about the wide receiver situation.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I feel like I want Hopkins. That's my number one. That's who I would love to have.
Yeah.
But I feel like the most likely scenario is we probably get Odell and draft a young guy just to kind of like as like an insurance policy, because I feel like moving all this money and everything around, I feel like it's for Odell. I feel like the Odell thing is a Jerry move. I feel like this is all him. He's like, y'all need to figure this out, get it done. And
what do you? So you said you think maybe to sign Odell Beckham and still draft a young guy?
Yeah, probably I feel like they'll draft a young guy probably like on day 3.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, that's fair because I don't see a scenario where they sign Odell and draft a young guy any higher than the 3rd round. I mean, 3rd round even still might be higher. Any higher than the 4th round because you still got Simi, you still got Jalen Tolbert. You invested a 3rd round pick in. You re-signed Michael Gallup, right? And then you got Lamb.
Right.
So I feel like if you sign Odell Beckham, you're probably out on receiver for the first 3 or 4 rounds, maybe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I feel like they're gonna give Tolbert every shot to get on the field because that was pretty much Dak's pick. He basically handpicked.
He
Tolbert.
didn't handpick Tolbert. I don't know why I keep hearing that.
That's how it felt to me. It felt like he was like, I like that guy. That's what I want. And they were like, okay, well, we're going.
Yeah, Will McClay came out and said we went to Dak with about, I think he said like 5 or 7 different receivers, and Tolbert was one of the guys he said he liked. Yeah, and he just happened to pick him.
Yeah,
Dak Prescott ain't got that kind of juice.
But yeah, that was it. That's all I had.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate the call, good brother.
All right, appreciate you.
Salute. Let's get 678 in here. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, Scott, man? This is Terrence from Atlanta.
Terrence from the ATL.
Oh, yeah.
What up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Scott walking on these haters.
You know what's funny?
Man.
You said that. And in my head, I said, ATL, Georgia. What does it do for you?
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of crazy. What up,
though? Yeah, man. I just want to say this, man. First, I want to start off like this, like with a question, like with the Stephon Gilmore trade. It feels so much better. I feel so much comfortable at no worries at nickel. So yeah, I don't have no worries about that. But I just want to talk about this, like about wide receiver situation and weapon situation around Dak Prescott. We all know that we definitely have to surround weapons around Dak Prescott, because if we don't, you know what I'm saying, like he's gonna be terrible again. Like same thing, like
we were terrible last year, but
last season. Yeah, not terrible.
Yeah, you make it harder.
Yeah, my bad. Not terrible.
Yeah, you're not going to make it easy.
You're making it harder.
Yeah, make it harder. Shit.
Exactly. You're making it harder. So, yeah, that's all I'm about. It's just like, because I'm looking at these Super Bowl teams like the Rams, Eagles, see what the Rams did with Matthew Stafford, loaded up with weapons around him, loaded with defense. Same thing with the Eagles, Jalen Hurts. We have to do the same thing with Dak Prescott. And most definitely is just that, most definitely is definitely that running game. Because when he was a rookie, man, Zeke was really pretty much that team was just awesome, man. And if you tell me, like, if I can get like Odell or we don't have to say Odell, at least if we get like a Brandon Cooks, and then if we can get Bijan Robinson, man, I'm feeling real good. I'm be feeling real good about this team.
I'd be shocked.
I'm still not gonna be drinking the Kool-Aid, but go ahead, sir.
Shit, look, man, y'all know I don't like to drink the crazy Kool-Aid in March or April or May or June, right? But you get Bijan and Brandon Cooks or Odell or D-Hop or something like that. Y'all, what are we supposed to say?
That's what I'm saying.
what do you want me to say? You look at the defense. The defense is already ready. The offense gets those guys. The only thing I say is, hey, man, y'all better hope this offensive line don't hold up. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all I can tell you, man.
That's what I'm saying.
What
I'm just going to be ready just for camp.
That team would be stupid loaded.
I'll be ready, yes. And then, yes, we'll be ready to compete at least and get to a championship. You know, I'm not going to bring up the SB word because you got to get to the championship, and then we can talk about it.
Yep.
And then we can talk about that. And that's why I was telling I told that the St. Lawrence parents, his dad, I was telling his dad about that. He was agreeing me about that too as well. So yeah. But yeah, that's all I got though, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate it, Sky.
Yes, sir. Enjoy your weekend.
Sky walking on this hater.
My God. Look, I'm not the one to use the SB word because can we get there? Can we get to the championship game? But man, I'm not, and I definitely won't use the D word, the dream team. We're not going to use that. That's saved for Philly and those guys. But there is no way. You can't let the haters, you can't let the rival fans, none of that take away, your excitement for the season if that were to happen. I'm not saying you can't be excited anyway. But if you were to get the Bijan Robinsons and Odell and or Cooks or D-Hop or whoever, Judy, whatever, right? All I could think about from a negative side of things is, well, they didn't do enough to the offensive line. Right? Like, the offensive line could derail their season. That's all I could think about, bro. Let me stop thinking about it though. Let's get back to this questions. Let's get to Randy's question from Facebook. In what order do you think we should address these? Run defense, offensive line, wide receiver. Randy, I'm not sure if you're watching right now, but do you mean in the draft or do you just mean in general? Because here's the thing about the run defense. You technically can wait that out from a one tech big guy standpoint. Their market is not a high market. They're not going to be expensive. The Deron Paynes and Dalvin Tomlinsons of the world are gone. Those are the expensive guys. There's the Gaineses, there's the Hickses, there's Hankins, there's the Ashawn Robinsons and other guys that you can get fairly cheap that you likely can wait till next week to do. Wait till this weekend. Like, you don't have to rush to the phones to get those guys because you're in a bidding war. Offensive line and wide receiver. Y'all know I wanted Shaq Mason. I'm a little not disappointed. I didn't think it was going to happen, but I thought Shaq Mason would have been fantastic. Didn't happen. So feels like wide receiver would be the one to address. And that's tricky. Because you should be saying, oh, we got a Jalen Tolbert, we got a Michael Gallup. We don't need to address it. But it's clear that the front office does believe it needs to be addressed. We talked about during midseason, they called multiple teams. Now we're talking about how in they are on Odell Beckham Jr., at least Jerry Jones. Inquiring about Jerry Judy once again. And then obviously the DeAndre Hopkins situation where the big wigs want to say the Cowboys haven't done anything and then others say elsewhere. Now, Flo asked this question about the wide receiver. Why don't we sign Adam Thielen? He won't cost that much, and he won't cost that much. You wouldn't have to give up any picks. He's a veteran, bring into the locker room, not to mention the dude still got it. When I saw this question, to me, I'm like, hey, look, I like Adam Thielen. I like Adam Thielen, a football player, all that stuff. But let me know if I'm tripping here or not. I think I'd much rather have T.Y. Hilton. I have nothing against Adam Thielen. The Cowboys signed Adam Thielen. We wouldn't see me be upset. But I just feel like T.Y. Hilton gives you a little something different, right? He gives you the veteran presence. He has that, not much of a connection, but he's got a little bit of a connection with a CD Lamb. He can play in the slot. He can play on the outside. I think he's faster, shiftier, quicker than Adam Thielen. Whereas if you're bringing Adam Thielen, you're still kind of being repetitive, mostly possession-ish type of guys. And if you're going to be repetitive and they're not one of them ones, just a mid guy you're bringing back, I think I'd bring back T.Y. Hilton. I think he can stretch the field better. I think he's a better deep threat, whereas Adam's a better red zone guy, but I got red zone guys. So nothing against Adam Thielen, Flo. I just would much rather bring back T.Y. Hilton. Anybody else against bringing back T.Y. Hilton over Adam Thielen, or you guys would take Thielen over T.Y.? We'll get to the other questions here in a second. Let's hop back into this chat. I'll pass on Thielen. I'm okay with that. Give me T.Y. No on Adam and T.Y. Well, yeah, I mean, I would rather go get others than T.Y. or Adam. But if I had to bring back a 30-something mid-wide receiver, I would much rather it be T.Y. than Adam, is what I'm getting at. AJ, why would Judy be good? I mean, just on a football field? I mean, you're talking about an explosive player, a route runner. I think he's also that yin-yang we talk about a lot, whether it be on defense or offense. He gives you something that the Cowboys don't necessarily have right now. When I say have, listen, there's no knock on CeeDee Lamb. Opposite of CeeDee Lamb, he gives you something that the Cowboys don't have right now. And he's played with some bad quarterback play. A lot of people might say, well, Sky, he ain't do nothing. I mean, 900 yards, 6 touchdowns, nothing to scoff at. He had some drop issues early on, but if you are a fan of CD in a slot, Judy allows you to do that. If you are a guy or gal that says, hey, I don't trust Michael Gallup, long term or short term, Judy can come in and challenge Michael Gallup. I mean, there's a lot of upside to Judy without a shadow of a doubt, but you're talking about the compensation to Stephen Jones. But if you're just talking about on the field, I think he's a fantastic fit for the Cowboys. Absolutely. Damone says, what would it take to get Brandon Cooks and what do you see on him? The Cowboys or the Texans wanted a second last year. I don't know if that's the case anymore. He has something like an $18 million cap hit for 2023. I don't know if they're trying to rework numbers there or not. And you said, what do you see on him? Very similar to what I just said about Judy. He gives you an element you do not have. If you don't trust in a Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks can deal with that responsibility. If you want to slide CeeDee Lamb inside, Brandon Cooks can help with that. A little bit more savvy than a Judy. Been around the block than a Judy. I mean, look, let's just be completely honest. Brandon Cooks is more proven than a Jerry Judy. Again, there's 4 dudes. I talked about this with Professor O. If the Cowboys landed any one of these 4, Brandon Cooks, Jerry Judy, Odell Beckham, DeAndre Hopkins, Cowboys Nation should be super excited. Don't think about compensation. Think about that afterwards. But the player, the fit with this team, what you're missing, you should be super excited. Now, a lot of people will not be happy with Odell Beckham because they, baggage and this and all that stuff. And that's fair. And there's the injury concerns. But if we're just talking about on the field, if they're playing what they can provide, man, they give you something you don't got. They give you something you don't got. And Odell Beckham put out that little highlight reel of his workout. I can see why teams is bidding on him, man. I mean, he looked back. He looks back. The problem is it's never when he's playing, it's how long. Maybe I'm being a bit naive here, but I do think Odell is matured in the sense of I don't think he's going to do the crazy things he was doing maybe in New York. I don't think he'll be that type of liability. But if he is matured and he's playing, Odell, he gonna be good for somebody. For how long? That's a different story. Five, 6'2". What it is, what it do.
How you doing, bro?
I'm good. What's up?
All right, man. I just actually, man, just I don't know exactly what you've been talking about, man, but yeah, what were you just talking about? I know you was talking about the receivers.
Yeah, there was questions about the receivers, so we were just talking about the big four and then a couple of the veteran options.
Okay. Yeah, man. So what is your take on it?
Yeah, I just explained my take on it. What you got? You called into the show. What's your thoughts?
Yeah. I just like just started listening to the show just like
gotcha.
right before I called.
All right.
So I kind of.
I got you. You got a question?
I don't want to take you off subject, but I did
No,
kind of
no,
have.
good.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, whatever question.
Yeah. I know we kind of had a little talk last time. I don't know if you remember. A little argument, a little low key.
We
Not
call
really,
it,
but
call
you
it
know.
debate. Debate. That's what I like to say.
All right.
Debate.
Right. In regards to the offensive coordinator, you were saying like you kind of wanting kind of more to be gone.
Yeah. Well, that must have been a long time ago because they've been going for quite some time.
Yeah, it's been a minute, bro. It's been a minute, bro. And you were telling me a couple of guys you had. I don't know if you remember this. A couple of guys, office coordinators you wanted. So now my question is to you, like,
yeah, some of the names.
What's up? Yeah, you were telling me some of the names of the guys that you thought would be better offensive coordinator. So I wanted to know.
No. I don't have any idea if these guys would be better, but these were names that were out there, the Slowicks of the world and whatnot that I'd be interested in. But what are you trying to set up here? Where are you getting at?
I'm just curious on, like, are you kind of happy with what's going on with the offensive coordinator? Are you happy with Mike taking over and the other guy he got? Are you think that's a better option than Kellen Moore?
Yes, I am happy that Mike McCarthy is going to be able to run his own ship and implement some West Coast style here. And he's got a guy in Brian Schottenheimer who's been around the block and has had some success in this league. Is he Kyle Shanahan? No. But he's a proven guy that's been in some big spots and he's also worked with Mike before. So yeah, I'm happy with the direction of the offense.
Is he a zone running game guy or?
Yeah, you're looking more like looking at Mike Solari, who's going to be a part of. He's the run game coordinator, right? Like he's the guy that's going to be attacking the run game, and he's done a lot of things. He's done power run game. He's done some zone things. So I think you'll see a combination. There's just no way to know exactly what we're going to do from a run game coordination standpoint until we get to like mini camp.
Yeah, I just was curious about that, man. Like, what you thought about? I mean, I kind of heard. Well, I listened to different shows. I kind of know you're kind of happy with it.
The conference has been locked.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, is our offense going to be a top 10 offense this coming year? I don't know. Man.
I don't know either. I mean, the offense I don't think is complete. I think they're going to continue to add receiver. They're going to continue to add at offensive line.
I think that's going to be So I would say probably if we were more on the running game, yeah, we're probably not going to be putting up the type of numbers we probably used to seeing. Probably more of a play good defense, keep the other team from scoring a lot of points, and maybe we average 24 to 27 points a game, something like that, and maybe not as much as we've seen before. So maybe the numbers won't look as good, but maybe, hopefully, like maybe it'll be a better team overall.
Yeah, all right. Yep. I think that may be a possibility. We kind of talked about that with the defense. But hey, look, man, appreciate you calling in. Got to get to some news here, man.
All right, go ahead, bro. I'm
Yes, sir.
cool, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
It got there. It took a while to land that one, but we got there. Breaking news. Call it that, but it is. Cooper Rush is re-signing with the Dallas Cowboys on a 2-year, $6 million max deal. First year and signing bonus fully guaranteed for the Cowboys. We'll get some more details on it. Here we go. Rush is fully guaranteed $2.75 million in 2023. So it'll be Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush back in the building, and Will Grier is also still under contract. Interesting. I thought that Cooper Rush would have followed Kellen Moore to LA. Honestly, I truly did. But maybe McCarthy feels comfortable with the fact that Cooper Rush was able to come in and obviously go 4-1 last year and hold the fort down. I like the thought process of having a guy that you don't have to change your offense much for. If you got a running quarterback, you got a mobile quarterback, you do things like that. I like that. Cooper Rush is not that, obviously, but he did prove last year and the year before that, hey, man, if I come in, the least I can do is hold the fort down. So Cooper Rush will be back, and he'll be back for the next 2 years. On a 2-year deal, $6 million. That is the breaking news. I think we could have a conversation next week. I don't know if I want to derail the show on the quarterback, but we could have a conversation next week on, does this stop them from drafting a quarterback, which I thought was always going to be on day 3. Does it stop them? 956. Good morning, sir or ma'am.
Okay, can you hear me?
There we go. 956, you live.
All right. This is first time caller. My name is Fabian.
Good
go by
morning,
A Snitch on what's it called? The chat. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I had a question. Do you think the Cowboys feel the pressure of getting better because of other teams in Texas, other professional teams in Texas?
Well, like the Mavericks and the Rangers?
The Mavericks, not the Rangers, Mavericks, the Dallas.
The Mavericks and the Stars? Okay, I think he's going. You're breaking up. I'll answer your question. I don't think that, no. Nor do I think that it should affect them. I think they should feel the pressure to get better because they just watched their NFC East opponent go to the second Super Bowl in 6 years, and they won one. That should be the pressure, right? They've watched, a team that they could not beat 2 years in a row in the playoffs. That should be the pressure. I don't think what the Dallas Stars do, or the Mavericks, or the Rangers, Texans ain't no pressure. Whoever. What's the Dallas WNBA team? Whoever they do. That shouldn't be any pressure. Nah. All right, let's switch this thing up. We ain't. Come on now, Bomb Squad. I know we're gonna get one though from my guy Landlord from Alabama, because we gotta get back on track, Landlord. So get us back on track, man.
Yes, sir. What's happening with you, man?
What's
hey,
up?
You just seen we just got our backup back, man. I'm
Yes,
kind of
sir.
happy with that deal, though. I'm happy with that deal.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
have no emotions towards it whatsoever.
I think you should be a little happy though, Scott. You know what I'm saying? Cause look, we know we going into this season. Look, no, listen. I think I might be able to sway you in my direction slightly. Okay, look.
It's gonna be tough, but okay.
Look, check me out. It was several backup quarterbacks that played in the playoffs last year. So it's like, it's almost a necessity these days. Then when you add in a new game, a whole extra game, that's just more, you know what I'm saying, time for your players to get hurt. So the backup quarterback position probably done got a lot more important when you added an extra game.
Oh, yeah. I
See
don't
what I'm
disagree
saying?
that the backup quarterback is not important. I just don't have any. I don't. I'm not swayed left or right, bad or happy that Cooper Rush is back. I just think, okay, we got a backup quarterback. Like, that's just how I look at it.
But look,
I don't look at it as.
I get it, but I think you should at least be like, man, I know if I need somebody to hold me down a few games, I probably would hold me down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've seen him do it.
With with an unknown guy, you'll be like, maybe, possibly, you know what I'm saying? So, and then Cooper.
Yeah, you breaking up. But I wouldn't go out. I mean, unknown if it's a rookie, yeah, that'd be an issue. Unknown if it's Will Greer, that'd be an issue. But there was other guys out there that it wasn't unknown that they've played in this league and won games. But I don't even know if they would move the needle for me. It would take some type of backup quarterback to move it for me, man. And Cooper Rush ain't it. And that ain't his fault. A lot of these backup quarterbacks wouldn't move the needle for me. They just backup quarterbacks to me, man. And when they get in there,
leave me alone, bro.
No, when they get in there, I'm still. If it's a backup quarterback, I'm still going to be nervous. Like no matter what, I'm going to be like, oh, all right, man. Let's hopefully this can work out. So no matter who it is.
Yeah, one of them great coaches said they asked why, I can't remember which one it was, but they were like, why you don't practice with your backup quarterback? And he was like, I don't practice the F word. I don't practice being F'd up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I didn't want to curse on your platform, but they was basically saying, I don't want to practice being screwed. You know what I'm saying? So, I believe, I ain't gonna lie, I think that was a decent little deal. Like, I ain't jumping up and down in the room, but I think it was, I like the consistency. You know what I'm saying? Say that much.
Sure.
And then it was a very, very cheap deal. You know what I'm saying? I would have really thought Cooper probably demand a little more than that in the market. Because, you know what I'm saying, teams seen him win.
Well,
he didn't do much.
Because teams got film, all those people, the Super Cooper troopers that thought he was out here cooking. Teams got film. The dude wasn't cooking nothing. And what
he wasn't.
So when he goes out there and he gets $3 million per, that doesn't surprise me.
It don't surprise me at all. But I think him wanting to be here had a little deal in it too. But I ain't acting like the market was crazy for him though. Like I ain't saying people were just blowing up his phone and that. You know what I'm saying?
Mariota just got $8 million from the Eagles.
Yeah. And Minshew just went where he went. He went
the Colts.
To the Colts.
I think the Colts.
He might start over there.
Yeah, I think he got like 3 as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he might start over there. Well, what you think about this tight end market, man? The tight end market looking like it's working in our favor. Dalton might come back, knocking on the door with his little pillowcase on a stick. You know what I'm saying? Looking sad.
I saw that. You know what's funny, man? This is so crazy. The tight end market and running back market looking real interesting. So Mike Gesicki, if y'all know, he got tagged last year at like $10 million, just like Dalton Schultz. And then he signed a 1 year, was a $9 million deal with, I forget the team, my apologies. Was it the Patriots?
The Dolphins.
Dolphins. Okay. The Dolphins? He went back to the Dolphins?
No, he's from the Dolphins. You're right.
Well, I know he's from the Dolphins.
My bad. Yeah, he went to the Patriots.
Okay, so he went back to the Patriots. So 1 year, $9 million. So slightly less than what the franchise tag was.
Yeah.
Look, I still wouldn't sign Dalton Schultz to a $9 million per. But it isn't. Look, the market went down, much like it looks like the running back market went down, and you kind of put yourself in a bind because you got to start at that amount. So Dalton Schultz trying to get a long-term extension last year started at $10 million. Tony Pollard starts at $10 million. So you think that maybe you
got one of the highest paid running backs.
Yeah. Well, yeah. After the CMCs of the world, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm thinking like, Dalton might want to work something. Like after he, how they say he looked out there in the streets and seen it was cold out there. He like, man.
But how I feel.
I might need to just stay where I'm at.
But how I feel. I'm big that Jake Ferguson can really hold it down for you, Hendershot, and then you draft one of these. So many good tight ends in this draft, and then you roll. You roll with this young group, and you got this young group for 3-4 years on the cheap, and let's rock out. Okay. I don't look at Dalton Schultz as a needle mover to me.
Okay, let's think a tad nefarious with me for a second, and then I'm gonna let you go. Okay, look.
Let's do it.
Do you think this a necessary evil for us to sign Dalton, right, to prevent us from them drafting the other dog. Because I don't want this guy in the first round, Sky. I do not want this guy, bro.
Landlord,
do you think that's a necessary evil, man? Come on, bro. I do.
We call that in poker a bluff catcher. So you
want
to hold Dalton Schultz so that we could bluff at.
I don't want to draft no tight end in the first round, Sky. I think they might do something like that, bro. It's crazy.
There's an interesting statistic about Dalton Kincaid. I'll say this: I think Dalton Kincaid is a much better weapon than Dalton Schultz.
You think so?
Oh yeah. I think Kincaid could be a better weapon. But there was a man. I want to give the dude credit. Let me see if I can find his name because that'd be disrespectful if I don't give him some credit here. Somebody from The Athletic wrote a fantastic article on Dalton Kincaid. It was on the tight ends in general. Let me give him credit here. Nate Tice. Nate Tice is really good at what he does. And he had a very interesting observation about Dalton Kincaid. He comes in at sub 245. And here was the statistic about tight ends drafted or in the NFL under 245 pounds. He says there have been 101 instances from 38 players of an NFL tight end recording 800 and plus receiving yards in a single season. Only 4 of those tight ends had a listed playing weight of 245 pounds or less. Owen Daniels, Jordan Reed, Dalton Schultz, and Kellen Winslow II. So since 2002, only 4 players at 245 pounds or less at the tight end position have had 800 receiving yards or more. So, he's a slight dude.
This is my point, bro. This is the reason why. Like, look, think about this. What a slender tight end is, Sky. He ain't nothing but a receiver for real. Like, think about this. What will we do?
Then let me use a receiver, because a receiver.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. What will we do against a slender tight end? You know what we gonna do? We gonna say, "Hey, J. Ryan, let me holler at you."
Right.
Go get him, J. Ryan.
Right. Put them paws on him. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a perfect matchup for them. So like the whole nature of a tight end, bro, you want him to be a little bigger, so he can be bigger, too big for a corner, and then you want him to be too fast for a linebacker. That's the whole matchup nightmare for a good tight end. And if you a slender tight end, so I'm gonna just put a big corner on you, and now you just blanket it. So like, I know it's a great idea to have these super athletic, hybrid wide receiver tight ends, but like, bro, in practice, it's not as effective as you might think, bro. I could just put a big corner on you, sir, and now it's curtains for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I'm with you, though. I don't really want to take a tight end in the first round either. But again, who's on the board? What else? What other moves do we make? It's so much that has to happen between now and then. But yeah, I'm good on the Dalton Kincaid thing, especially if they're not going to use him, feature him as a top weapon. Because you take him, bro, he has to be your second. He has to be your second guy. It has to be CeeDee Lamb. Dalton
first
Schultz,
round tight ends.
Kincaid.
You want him to be one of your better players in the league eventually, man. A first-round tight end.
Think about the tight ends, though. It wouldn't surprise. I mean, there's only 3 of them, and then that 4 through 7 range just constantly shifts because the tight end situation nowadays is there's a lot of really solid ones, and then there's a handful of elite, like 2 or 3.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I wanted to holler at you about, man. I appreciate everything you do for the nation, sir.
Appreciate you as well, landlord from Alabama. Make sure y'all check out the Trap House later. Salute.
Yes, sir. Salute, man.
He said, I re-signed Dalton Schultz and not take Dalton Kincaid. Man, I had to reach out again. We in the spirit of re-signing guys now. You got Cooper Rush. Brought back Dono, brought back LVE, brought back CJ. But see, I think Dalton Schultz will cost you some bread. It costs you a little bit of bread. It would be a sign, though, right? Like if they were to bring back Dalton Schultz, it would be a sign that they don't believe that the other tight ends are ready to take over, and they want to roll with some veterans here. Jump back into this mailbag. Let's get to Mike and Leah, Sean and Drew's questions, and then We'll rock out the phone lines and the chat. Yes, sir, Mel. They re-signed Cooper Rush today to a 2-year, $6 million deal. Cooper Rush, who went 4-1, held it down as best he could. And he probably won the trust of Mike McCarthy, you know, in the film, in the meeting room, in the locker room, and then obviously on the field. So, again, I don't think this is a bad thing. I don't think this is something to jump for joy about. Got yourself a backup quarterback that you can trust. Mike and Leah says, more likely to happen: draft a running back early or pick up a free agent. For about 95% of the league, I would say pick up a free agent. Are we talking about the Cowboys, man? What's early too, Mike and Leo? We're gonna say first round. I will say pick up a free agent, because here's what I'm gonna say: Bijan ain't gonna be there. So probably the only one you take at 26 will be Bijan Robinson. So I say pick up a free agent. We've been here before, right? Like if we really wanted to go back and look, the Cowboys haven't had to go into the free agent market for 3-4 years because of Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. So they just had to kind of get Rico Dowdle and Malik Davises of the world, right? But before Tony Pollard got here, they went out and signed a Darren McFadden. They went out and signed an Alfred Morris. Right? So, I mean, it's not out of their range to do that. So I'm going to go with pick up a free agent. I think they'll sign a veteran guy, young guy, whatever, doesn't matter, free agent, and then they'll also draft a running back, just not early. Let's Bijan Robinson go. But just not early. Sean Alexander, not the running back, says if the Cowboys don't get Bobby Wagner, should they sign Deion Jones? Are the Cowboys out of the water at linebacker? Bringing back LVE? I don't think they should be. LVE comes with injury concerns. His contract is cheap. I don't think that, his contract is something that you have to be locked into if something were to come up or a better player were to come about. Let me go ahead and open these up a little bit. I unlocked it so we can get a couple more in here. But yeah, old boy did make me lock the phone. Should they sign him? I'm not going to put him in a hole like that, but I would welcome Deion Jones. We did a Catboy criteria on linebacker targets, and Deion Jones was one of them. I don't think Deion Jones is going to cost you a ton. He went to Cleveland, and he had some productive moments for the Browns. He's a former Dan Quinn guy. You put him as an off-ball, kind of that will role, and although I think he can be physical, but he's not a big guy. So you put him oppo of an LVE. I think he would play the Anthony Barr role, but I think he could be better for you. Well, Scott, it's gonna hamper Damone Clark. Tell Damone Clark to beat him. Look, I'm about bringing in quality guys and then line up, break the pool stick, and say win. Win. Beat them out. So, yeah, I'd sign Deion Jones. Drew Armstrong, with the Cowboys clearing so much cap space, what player/position do you think they try to address before the draft? 100%, I think they're going to try to address wide receiver. I don't know if it'll happen, but they'll try to. Defensive tackle is another one. Tackle? Nah. They drafted they put a 5th rounder and a 4th rounder into their swing. They gonna ride with that probably. Guard, maybe. They lost the guard. They still have not replaced guard, so possibility they try to attack guard. And running back. And don't gotta be Leonard Fournette. Boy, y'all cooked me yesterday on Lenny. But I still feel good about it. I don't give a damn. Look.
I ain't scared of you, mother.
I don't care. I said what I said. But it don't got to be him. It can be others. There's others out there. I know people brought up Kareem Hunt and whatnot. Sure. But I think they attack the running back position too. So running back, wide receiver, interior D-line, interior offensive line. There we go. That is the mailbag section of today's show. Appreciate y'all. So I'll open the lines back up. Now I'm going to close them back up. Landlord definitely helped tilt the caller section back in our favor. Let's get the B, a.k.a. Brian, of the Cochran Firm, ladies and gentlemen. What's good, B?
It is, Will. So
what it is.
it is Friday, and
it is.
It feels like Freaky Friday to me because I don't know what's going on out the Star. Are we sure that Jerry's still in control, or has he maybe switched personalities with Jimmy, who's back behind the switch?
Well, I'll tell you what.
It seems like they're making rational decisions again.
If they sign Odell Beckham, Jerry Jones is 100% in control because he wants Odell Beckham so bad he called his mama in them. Yeah.
Well, I had a buddy who is a Cowboy math guy, and he's adding up all this money that we're saving on the cap, and he is convinced that Jerry's about to pull a big one. And I know I listened to you a little bit yesterday and earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like a receiver is coming our way. That's what it feels like to me. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. Man. Now, look, I know Jane Slater just reported that they haven't inquired about this player or that player, but she's been wrong all week. But they 100% were interested in the regular season, and they're clearly interested right now with Odell Beckham. And it would not shock me if they at least put some fillers out on Jerry Judy and who's the other one? DeAndre Hopkins. But the price might be too high for those guys. They saw what happened last year. They came out, they admitted, look, man, we thought that, ACL, Michael Gallup, and this rookie from South Alabama was going to be good enough. We made a mistake in that sense. They won't admit they made a mistake trading Amari Cooper, but they're all in trying to upgrade the position. Now, can they get it done is the question.
Well, I mean, they've got money to spend,
Mm-hmm.
and they're restructuring all these contracts for a reason. And if we go into this season, and I love CD, but if he's our number one receiver and he doesn't have any significant help, we're deigned to repeat the mistakes of the past.
Yeah.
So, if D-Hop would take, we talked about this last week, if D-Hop would take a cut, he's going to get $27.5 million, but if he would take a cut and come in, I don't know, what, 18 to, what would you pay him, 18?
Well, I mean, I'm not really, CB, if you've been listening to me, I don't really give a damn about the money. If I'm all in for 2 years, you deal with the money situation later. However, I understand that's not how it works in the league. You got to massage these contracts. He apparently told, people that he's willing to play for less than market value to come to Dallas. So I think the market value for a guy like him is whatever Adams is getting, right? Whatever Diggs is getting. So if they're making 23, 24, 25 million, maybe he comes for a flat 20, which you were paying Mark Cooper anyway. So if you can get D-Hop for a flat, 20 for 2 years, and then you can move off of it after that, come on, man, sign me up.
The other thing we haven't talked about was, and I've mentioned this all year, we got to figure out a way to move on without Zeke, and like I said, now we're going that direction. I know you mentioned Leonard Fournette, and you got a lot of heat for it.
Yeah, they ain't like that
but
one.
are you, assuming that TP is back at 100%, are you not sold on Malik Davis? I enjoyed watching him a little bit this year. I thought he had a burst.
Oh, no, I love Malik Davis. I love the potential of Malik Davis, right? Like, I like Malik. I just think you need a stable of three backs. You need a stable of three backs, and I think Malik is a part of that stable. If you told me you went into the season as Malik as your running back too, I'm not going to complain about it. I won't. But who is the third one now, right? Like, did we get that power back, that goal line guy, or is it another wiggle guy? Like, who's the third back that complements this running back group? But no, Malik Davis is firmly in my rotation, at least to start training camp. Now, will he get beat out by the kid we had last year that was having a good preseason? I forget his name, Cowboys Nation. The Harvard kid, I think he went to Harvard. He sprained his ankle or something like that at the end of preseason. Can he get beat out by a draft pick? Maybe. But I thought Malik Davis came in. He showed some stuff in pass protection. He showed that he can catch the ball at the backfield. He showed he's got some wiggle, some spark, some bounce. I'm high on Malik Davis coming in.
Yeah, I mean, clearly the way that GMs are approaching running backs is so different than when I was, kind of growing up with the Cowboys with Emmett and those guys. You find if you can find a good rookie contract for 4 years and ride that. Unfortunately, you might ride the player into the ground, but from a managerial standpoint, it's probably the best thing to do with running backs now.
Yeah, it is. In my opinion, it is. I don't think you lean on a workhorse anymore in a 17-game season with how much pounding running backs take. And that's why I salute Zeke. He was kind of one of the last of the dying breeds. He came in at the tail end of Adrian Peterson, who I think is the last, got him and Derrick Henry. They're like the last. Yeah. Adrian Peterson, Derrick Henry, Zeke, I think are the last guys that you leaned on in that manner year in, year out. I don't think you're going to see that much anymore.
Kalishaw had an interesting stat the other day comparing Zeke to King Henry, and I was floored. I assumed that Derrick Henry had more carries since they were drafted in the same class. But Zeke had 309 more carries than Derrick Henry. That tells you everything you need to know about why he has nothing left. Yeah, he
gave everything. I mean, he played hurt. He was used more than any running back in probably a 6-year span in the when I say modern, I mean this new 2010s. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the 90s, that probably was normal to get 300 carries a year. But to get 300 carries a year, 320, 40, 50 plus touches a season now is unheard of. I don't think you'll see it happen on a consistent basis anymore.
Well, we'll see in a week from now when I call back in if Jerry's used any of that money that he's been saving.
He better not be sitting on top of that money like those dudes on Breaking Bad. He better use it. God dang it. But if anybody get in trouble down there and they need some money to use, they need to call y'all up, man. Let them know about the Cochran Firm, B.
Well, Will, we're, again, like I said last week, excited to start our second year of partnership with you guys with A to Z. And we have an office here in Dallas in the Design District. And we're happy to people can come in if they need any legal help. We specialize in helping people who get hurt due to the negligence of others, mainly car wrecks and truck wrecks and motorcycle accidents and a bunch of drunk drivers out there causing mayhem. We help people with workplace injuries. And like I said, my partner Larry is part of the national team that's leading up this hair relaxer litigation effort to hold these beauty companies accountable for using the chemicals that cause so many women to develop cancer. So that's kind of what we've got cooking this part of the year. But our number is 1-800-THE-FIRM, 1-800-THE-FIRM, and you can reach us on the internet at www.cochrantexas.com. And we here at the Cochran Firm and our staff are happy to help all the listeners of A to Z for whatever kind of legal needs they might need. If we can't help them, we can certainly point them in the right direction as well. So appreciate the shout out to the Cochran Firm as always, and always enjoy catching up with you on our weekly call.
Same, man. Appreciate you, Brian. Make sure y'all hit up the Cochran Firm because Cochran cares, man.
Take care, Will.
Yes, sir. That was Brian Pope down at the Cochran Firm. Y'all heard him, man. They do fantastic work down there. And I remember when I first met him, one of the first things that Larry and them told me is that, hey, look, above all, we're going to fight. We're going to fight for you. We're going to fight for our clients. We're going to fight for our people. We're going to fight the community. They do a lot of good community work here in Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, wherever. And they've taken on a lot of challenging cases. So if you are a part of anything, you need anything, hit them up, man. 1-800-THE-FIRM or CochranTexas.com. Emotional. Y'all crazy. All right, let's get to DJ. DJ, what's up, man?
Hey, good morning, Scott. Good morning, Scott. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, my man.
Well, it's Friday, man. You should be.
Yes, sir.
Hey, brother. No, I think it's real interesting where everything's leading, just because of the conversation. You know, for the first time in a long time, we feel like we have options, and as far as we could do this or we could do that, because before we'd lock in on one individual, right? And excuse the wind if you can hear that.
I can't. You're good.
We'd lock in on one individual.
Yeah.
And then that would pretty much be it. And then we wouldn't sign anybody, and then there would just be this roster filler that would come in later on.
Yeah.
Where I understand nothing's happened yet, right? And I got excited the other day because of all the moves, because the moves prior to that meant something.
DJ, you was lit the other day. Oh, we got money. DJ said
money.
DJ said,
hey, man, I ain't never hold 10 grand at one time, man. So when they clearing up millions, I don't know how to act.
I feel you, man. It was exciting. It was exciting that day because, like, they just got Gilmore the day before. They cleared up all that money, the rumors of receivers. So I feel you, man. I feel you.
Which, I mean, again, we're going to see how it plays out. I may, as long as it comes through, like if it comes through, I'm right back on that course. But, you know, I have a little time to chill out and relax a little bit. But overall, man, I think that the prospects of – I'd really rather than just handle running back in the draft, right, just because of the type of position.
Yeah.
And historically – it's not a position that a guy has to get up to speed. Like, you come in, it's a plug-and-play position, basically. So I'd rather them do that.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Yep.
And then as far as wide receiver, I want to get a vet guy because we do have young talent, right? You can say what you want about Tolbert, but, you know, once he gets up to speed, he's able to diagnose the offense or digest the offense a little bit better and just have a chance to adjust to the speed of the game. Then, you know, Gallup will be 1 year healthier. So, you know, whatever they do, it's not like I want to leave it there. Yeah. But whatever they do, as long as they do something, I'm cool with it.
Let me say this. I feel you on Tolbert, and this goes for Damone Clark as well. But I'm willing to sacrifice a year of their development for a proven veteran that could be a hump player. I'm willing to sacrifice that, right? Had Tolbert or had Clark show me what Deron Bland showed me, we're having a different discussion, right? We're having a totally different discussion. The Cowboys aren't trying to go out there and get the best slot cornerback in the league or one of the best slot cornerbacks in the league because Deron Bland showed them, hey, let me be that because I can be. So I'm willing to sacrifice a year of their growth to try to go get this thing.
Well, yeah, and it's right now, right? Because the defense is right now for sure. Offensively, we can be as long as we get the subsequent weapons needed. You know, just we can't have a whole bunch of wide receiver 4 and 5.
Nah,
you know what I mean? We gotta even if we get 2 or 3 twos, right? We go out and get C.J. Chark and Adam Thielen and Marvin Jones. Even if that happens, I feel like we're in an astronomical better position, right? Maybe talent-wise, and if you just looked at the roster, it just goes up a little bit, but the difference of play between a wide receiver 4 and a wide receiver 2 is massive. And all we had last year was a bunch of wide receiver 4s and 5s. So just having that and just because if you're out on the field and you're playing, you can see things better. The more you see something, the better you get at diagnosing it when you see it again.
Yeah.
And that's what the wide receiver 2s have behind their names, right? That they have that experience. And that's what I needed to be brought Like, yeah, T.Y. Hilton was cool, but he was a deep ball player his entire career. So as far as the deep ball goes, cool, but we weren't trying to throw that as often. And even if we did throw it, it wasn't going to be to him.
But that's what pisses me off about the T.Y. Hilton thing. I think T.Y. could have been way more than cool had they decided to bring T.Y. in earlier in the season. I think T.Y. could have been a real factor for you, bro. I think he could have.
For sure. And if they were to bring him back, I wouldn't even be upset about it, right? Like, in addition to, not just only.
No, yeah. Definitely an addition, right? Definitely T.Y. wide receiver 3. Hopefully one of the Bucks beat him out, so he's 4. And if you need him to play 2 in a pinch, he can. But I think last year, though, with the Jalen Tolbert situation, Dennis Houston, Simi going down, and then you had to rely on Noah Brown and Michael Gallup, who wasn't back. I think T.Y. could have been a much bigger factor.
It definitely felt like it when they signed him, right? Like, he should have been, for what he could do, even if it was a distraction for 90% of the time. He never even got to that because you had all those shows about, like, he's a deep end, he can really stretch the field, blah, 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 take the top off. And they did it twice that I can remember. And there's probably more that I'm forgetting, but they did it twice that I can remember. Now, 3rd and 30 was amazing, but it was once. So that was my whole thing there.
Indeed, DJ. Hey, appreciate the call, man. Make sure you enjoy your weekend, all right?
Yes, sir. You as well.
Salute.
Salute.
Yeah, I think I'm always be annoyed with that. I think that T.Y. could have. I think he could have been an important piece to this team had they not tried to do this song and dance with Odell Beckham, knowing that he couldn't play. I would have just signed T.Y. You could have still tried to trade somebody. Could have still tried to get Odell, and if it worked out, then cool. You can let him go. It didn't hurt you, but they waited too long, in my opinion. What's up, Marv? We didn't get a chance to get to you yesterday, Marv, but what's on your mind today, sir?
Hey, what's up, pal? Hey, I think you're kind of right.
Live by 8:30, Kareem. 8:30 we go live. What's up?
I won't mind T.Y.
Yeah.
What you think?
Yeah. I mean, look, if they strike out everywhere, I mean, there's still other dudes out there. McCole Hardman's, there's some quality guys out there that won't be huge needle movers, but I would still try to get those. And if they don't, I would. Say again, Sharp.
Yeah, Sharp.
What's I don't want to. So Chark is something around like 10 plus. I feel like I'd rather put that money to a Bobby Wagner or you know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I don't dislike Chark the player. I don't dislike the player. It's just if he really trying to get wide receiver, low end wide receiver 2 money, I'm good on that one.
Yeah, I won't mind going on Bobby Wagner. Then sign Big Hampton, the big D tackle.
Oh, Hankins. So you say Hampton. I'm thinking of Casey Hampton from the Steelers. It's all good. Yeah. It's all good. There was a Hampton at one point.
Yeah, Big Hank, and then Wagner, then Hank, and then gone on for y'all fans. Get one of the receivers, and then hit the draft. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, that'd be so. Look, that'd be a dream scenario. I just don't think though. I don't think they can do Wagner and one of those receivers, one of those top. I think it'll be either or. I don't think they'll put.
I'd rather get Wag, Big Hank, and then just T.Y. Come on back, T.Y. and then go in the trap.
Hey, Marv, look. Marv, I like that thinking, Marv. I ain't gonna hold you. So Wagner, Hankins, bring back T.Y., and then say, okay, receiver still on the board.
Thank you.
Hey, Marv, look, you say some crazy things, but that one right there ain't crazy to me.
Hey, get y'all two, make you your boy Bosh happy. Get y'all big lineman.
Yep.
And your wide receiver. There you go. And then draft again.
Hey, Marv, you on to something?
Get that speedy corner out of Michigan, and then give me. Look, I'd rather y'all get Well, if not, that big D tackle from Nebraska in the second round.
I don't know his name.
I
Okay.
like to go the guy from Wisconsin.
Okay. His name, y'all.
Or the guy from Baylor.
Yeah.
Kia.
Yeah. The
But
big Samoan cat. Yeah.
I like to get one of them. Either way y'all want to go, I'd rather get a lineman, offensive lineman, receiver, D tackle, and then get one of them linebackers. But you know my favorite receiver in the draft is Trey Palmer
From
Nebraska.
Okay. That's
From
your
Nebraska.
favorite one?
That's my favorite receiver. He's fastest. And hey, if you go look at the tape, go punch when you get off the line with us. Go watch Trey Palmer. He was at LSU, the number 33, ran punch back, and he was a dangerous receiver.
I got
Then
you.
he transferred, went to Nebraska, and turned it out. He was the fastest receiver in the combine, the most dangerous receiver.
You know, I got
Faster than
to watch him, and I got to watch Mims. I haven't put the film on of Mims. I just seen the numbers. I seen the stats. I seen what he did at combine, but I got to watch the film on Mims as well.
And watch the corner from Michigan that ran the 4.27.
Yeah, I'm aware.
DJ.
I'm aware of him. However, I'm kind of, because that's a guy who's going to be a day 2 pick, right? Like he's going to be about second round.
Yeah, I think so. He might be second round.
Yeah,
Like
second,
I said.
third round. So I'm kind of like at corner right now. But hey, you get a guy like that in the second or
And
third
Trey-
round.
And Trey is moving up. Trey, he might go to second now. Everybody went back and saw that tape, and the tape don't lie. He tortured. He will torture. You got to remember, he went to LSU first. He turned it out. Then he transferred to Nebraska.
When I hear players that go to those type of schools and then transfer, I'm like, I got to go see, because they clearly had the talent to play at the big schools, so something must have happened. So I'll go check them out, man. I'll go check them out just for you, Marv. I'll check them out.
So when you and Boss do y'all show today,
No show
say
today.
that for everybody.
Yeah.
Trey Palmer. Watch what
Monday.
you say. He gonna
Monday.
talk.
Show on Monday.
Okay, Monday.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate
So,
you, Marv.
That's all, man. Yes, sir. Yo.
Yes, sir. Magic City Marv. Hey, as I saw some names drop in the chat, and DJ was talking about running back. I think, and I'm gonna hit up Foots about this. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna pivot. We were gonna talk about corner, then Gilmore happened. Maybe we'll save corner later. I want to talk about running backs. So on Tuesday when we do our on a clock series, I want to bring up backs, and I want to talk to Foots and the nation about running backs, because of let go Zeke, TP, and Malik, the only two. So I think running back makes sense. Let's do that. Was Marv cooking a little bit though? Marv. Yeah. We love you, Magic City, but sometimes he can say things like Simi Fehoko, Jalen Tolbert, and the little squirt going to have 1,000 yards, and they make it say, Marv, come on. T.Y. Hilton, Big Hank, Bobby Wagner. You put Bobby Wagner. Let me go back to this real quick. Let me pull this up. This is the potential nickel. Substitute LVE for Wags. Maybe you put Wag on the opposite side of LVE. Put. I mean, I know this is the nickel, but let's just envision, right? Now we're talking about base defense, where now you're putting D-Law on the outside. And Mike could play a lot of it, so we can keep Micah there. Got Hankins. You got Osa. You can LVE Wagner, or Wagner, Clark, or Hooker and Cursor, Hooker and Wilson. Yeah, the best goddamn defense in the league. I might be overdoing it because Hankins is still up there in age, and you still don't have a dude in the middle. And I feel like if you look around, I thought about this the other day. If you look at the Final Four, and I do this every year, what do the Final Four teams in NFC, AFC, what do they have that maybe we're lacking that we can go look? DJ Reader, Chris Jones, You just name, the Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargraves, Milton Williams, Jordan. They had a plethora, Eagles-wise, of interior guys. Eric Armstead. All four of those teams had dudes in the middle. Hankins will help you. Hankins 100% is going to help you. Maybe you got to throw a couple bodies. Maybe you get a couple Hankins. You get Hankins and you get Ashawn Robinson. But I looked at those top four teams, and all four of those teams on defense had mother in the middle. Dallas hasn't had a mother in the middle since Jay Ratliff. And look, I think Osa 100% is continuing to get better. Maybe Osa, boom, he turns into a mother. Maybe he does. And I still believe Osa is a quality rotational piece. I'm ready for him to take that next step. Philly the podcast in the building. I ain't seen you since the Super Bowl loss, bro. But he said, hey, Sky, your show is awesome. Your team is trash. All love. Appreciate you, big dog. Oh, man, I love y'all Eagles fans. Were you one of the dudes who... Actually, I hate y'all, but that's one of those. I love to hate y'all. Was you one of those dudes who was breaking news? Let me get my button. Hold on. Let me get my button.
Breaking news. The Philadelphia Eagles will be cutting Darius Slay.
And then all of Eagle Nation.
Man, that motherfucker wasn't even nice. He was taking up all the money. He could go somewhere.
And then all of a sudden you get another. Where's it at? You get another.
Breaking news. The Eagles will not be cutting Darius Slay.
Man, Darius Slay, the greatest quarterback in Eagles history. I'm happy he's back.
Y'all trash, man. Y'all trash. And you know y'all trash for that. Most of y'all did that. His wife came out and said y'all trashed him. That's what the Dallas Cowboys are. I swear to God, go look on Twitter. Go look on Twitter when they said we cutting Darius Slay. The whole Eagles nation. Now, what's the dude from blogging? Whatever y'all version of Blogging the Boys is. He put a whole hit list out on Darius Slay. What he saying now? See, you coming here. Oh, you knew he was coming back? All right, cool. You plugged in, though. You know what I mean? 561, what up?
Yo, what's happening, Skywalker?
What's good?
Finally in there.
He in here. What up?
Jake the Great, man.
Oh, yeah, see, we didn't get a chance to get you, Jake. And let me save your number, Jake, because I can do that now. But you in here now, bro. What's up?
Yeah, man. Man, I was with you yesterday, man, on your Leonard Fournette. But boy, I'm coming with that haterade this morning, man. Been drinking 3 bottles of haterade, and I'm spewing hate. And I'm gonna start with this. I don't care if Bijan Robinson is there at 26. I don't know. We better not take him. Get me 6'5", 340-pound country bred, body banging bulldozer. And it don't matter if he's on the offensive line or defensive line. Get me one of them. I don't want no running back. If the Kansas City can get Pistachio in the 7th round and he can do what he did against the Eagles running defense, you know what I mean? I don't want to see no running back come off that board until the 4th round. And if he does come, it better be Bigsby. I don't want none of these little gadget dudes. And I'm going to tell you again, got some more hating. There is no big 4 wide receivers that we waiting for in Dallas. Man, bro, Jerry Judy, bro, don't even look at Cowboys. You ain't coming over here. I don't want to get no dude off of potential. I want a gangster. I want a dude that's been there before. I want a dude that if you're covered by 3 dudes and Dak's about to get sacked, he can throw it up to you. And you're going to jump up there with them octopus gloves, and you're going to snatch the ball out the sky. I need a chain mover, this dude I can throw the ball to on 3rd down or whatever. He's going to come down with it. So, Cooks, you might be a fast, but we don't want you. I want either Odell Beckham or I want a Hopkins. More preferably Hopkins, because the way the Cowboys run, the NFL is a trend. And we're playing soft passing league. But if you look, it's the teams that run the ball and are physical that are teams that sustain excellence. And I'm telling you, you're watching Mike McCarthy. This man is good at running back. You're going to see Dak Prescott's passing records go lower. He's going to deploy a three-headed monster, and he's going to slap in a fullback to knock some heads off them linebackers. I'm telling you, it's a physical game, and the physical team's going to win. So that's my rant, and that's all I got. How about them Cowboys? Jake the Great, I'm out.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
That was fire, Jake. Even if I don't agree with some of the things you're saying, but not that I don't, that was fire. Even if you don't agree with what he had to say right there, that was fire. The pistachio line, though, bro. Oh, my gosh. It's really hard for me to gather my composure when I hear stuff like that. So I had to reel it back because you were saying some things. Call that man pistachio. Pacheco, bro. Pacheco. Yeah, you got him in the 7th round. I feel you. Look, I am 100%. I don't need to take it back in the 1st round. I'm with you. However, it sounded like you said, now, and you off the phone now. It sounded like you said defensive tackle over running back. Both of those positions, you could argue, don't have the value of the 1st round unless it's, I know a lot of people, I saw somebody else say Jalen Carter got potential to be a bust, but unless it's like one of them type of talents. Got to call back in on Monday and explain to me there. Although you kind of went in when you was on your rant, right? Like you believe in beefing up the interior defensive line over grabbing a running back. Because I'm with you. I think you can grab the running back. And there was a question. I don't even know if it's in the mailbag segment. No, it's not. So somebody had brought up when to take a running back. When's the sweet spot? He believed it was round 2 to round 4. I'd extend that, bro. Probably to about the 5th. At the very least, I think between 2 and 5, you can get a good one. And hell, you might be able to find a Pacheco. You might be able to find an Elijah Mitchell. It happens every year, man. That was good. All right, let's get to our last one. Then we'll wrap to y'all in the chat. What's up, 253?
What's going on with you, Skywalker? This is my first time calling in, long time listener.
Welcome to the show, man.
To reach out to you. Yeah, appreciate it, man. It's just crazy because, like, I've never even had a desire to call in until I heard some of them calls before you had those last couple good calls. So I was like, damn, man, like, I know I could kind of do better than that.
Look, I tell people all the time, because I was definitely on the other side of this, like, damn, I don't know if I can call in and have a good call. Bro, just call in. We gonna rap. We gonna talk and just talk ball. No need to think you ain't gonna have a good call. Now, some people have bad calls, but I don't try to put them on the spot too much while they on the phone, man. You know.
Nah, I feel you. I think it was like they were thinking too much about what they wanted to say, and then when you said, "Hey, let me holler at you," then they was just thinking like, "Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say." But I think you just gotta let it be natural. Yep. For me, I mean, honestly, I think the most part is with everything going on, man. Like, this is the first year in a couple of years, which I've been a fan for a long time, is that it feels like they actually doing the things that they need to do. Not everything, because that's not possible, but it feels like they know what they need to get better at, and they're trying to actually make it happen. And they're doing it before the draft and not after the draft.
Yeah, they like to fill their holes with Band-Aids, but I look at Stephon Gilmore as much better than the Band-Aid, right? I feel like that's a mother effort that they put out there, and that's a bit different. They usually, like you said, they get the Everson Griffins, the Malik Hookers, the who's the other cat that we got from Miami, Robert Quinn. Like, they get those dudes later. They addressed it earlier. So at the very least, baby steps, right? We taking baby steps to improve in certain areas. So I can't be mad at that at all.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think, honestly, if they don't do anything else, if they get D-Hop, I'd be happy. They could draft Booby Miles from it don't even matter. Like,
fam, it don't.
Because at the end of the day, that was all we was missing. Is CD can't be the end all be all for everything. So as long as they address that and he has some help, because Michael Gallup, I believe, will be better. People don't understand like how long it actually takes to come off a major injury like that, and I think he'll be straight. Plus, he know he need to do better, so I think he will.
Yeah. Look, listen, man. I'm supposed to do a draft day show. But if the Cowboys get DeAndre Hopkins, I might call off. I don't even give a damn what they do in that draft. I swear to God,
just play
No,
Candy Crush.
I'm just playing.
It don't even matter at that point.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, just play Candy Crush.
You can't. I don't think you can mess it up. Now, again, even if they don't get DeAndre Hopkins, they can still fill some spots and not mess up this draft. They're in a sweet spot, man. They're in a really good spot in that first round. Second round, third round gets a bit tricky, but that first round, I think they're in a good sweet spot.
Yeah, and then people also, they don't take in consideration, like, it's not like Jerry's drafting people. It is Will McClay and his team, and he don't really mess up during the draft.
Yeah, I believe in McClay. I trust McClay. Is he going to be 100%? Nah, he actually talked about that, the batting percentage. He equated it to baseball. But if it's one department in Dallas that I do not worry about them getting quality guys, it's the draft. They're going to have their Jalen Smiths. They're going to have their boss man Fats. It's going to happen, right? Randy Gregory's were character things and, red flags and whatnot. They're going to have these misses. But for the most part, they're getting dudes that are going to contribute on this team. The issue was you got to get guys to help them do that because draft picks have a learning curve. They're not going to be their top tier selves early on. You get the exceptions. You get the Micah Parsons, a legendary player, a generational player. You get the Trayvon Diggses of the worlds. But for the most part, those second and third round picks that you're relying on, it takes time to get to their peak. So help by getting Stephon Gilmore and Robert Quinn or D-Hop or Odell, whoever, right? Like help those guys out by bringing in quality veterans, man.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that as far as when it comes to, I think Stephen Jones was trying to be more on the GM aspect and trying to like dictate as far as what players. I think he's leaning more on Will McClay now and being more on the business side. And I think like Jerry could possibly be like showing him the way more of like, this is how you need to be as opposed to trying to run everything. Because I feel like it was like a switch that was flipped for this offseason and everything's different.
So I'm going to tell you what I told DJ. It's too early to say, quote unquote, everything's different because technically it's not, right? Like technically they've made this trade before, right? They've traded 6-round picks for Michael Bennett, for Robert Quinn, Jonathan Hankins. Like they've technically been here before in that department. Where it's slightly different there is that they did it pre-draft. So that's where it's slightly different. And technically they've restructured a ton of money. They've done that before. And technically they've re-signed players, their own players back. Yeah. So if we're really being honest with ourselves, nothing has quite changed yet. But doesn't it feel like something's in the air? And if something's in the air and it lands,
they was willing. The fact that they was willing to let go Zeke is for me is a telltale sign that things is different. Because usually Jerry will hold on to somebody until they on dialysis.
Oh, brother, they've been there before too. DeMarcus Ware, Dez Bryant, like none of these things are out of the ordinary that they've done. What would be out of the ordinary? Getting one of those receivers we talked about, that'll be out of the ordinary. Making another swing trade, that'll be out of the ordinary. But so far, the glimmer of hope that potentially something could be shifting here is Stephon Gilmore. But I think they got more work to be done.
Most definitely.
Hey man, what's your name?
My name's Mark. I'm in the Army. I'm stationed out at JBLM.
Oh man, look, thank you for your service, man. I don't say that lightly. My father was in the Army, family members and whatnot, so I appreciate that, man. So we're gonna put Mark, and when I say salute, it means much more to you. Salute,
likewise,
brother.
Man. I appreciate it. I salute you for what you do, man.
Thank you, man.
It's not a lot of people that you can. I rock with you and Vach, Law Nation, Okoye, like the whole team, man, and I definitely appreciate it because I would much rather watch y'all than watch like ESPN and see the same old, and most of it's cap anyway.
Facts. Couldn't say it any better, man. Appreciate you, Mark. Enjoy the rest of the weekend best you can. And stay safe, man.
All right, most definitely. You too.
Salute. Great call by Mark, man. Fantastic call by Mark. What a way to end this thing. It's start off a little wobbly. Landlord picked us up, took us to the trap, And then this thing got smooth. Marv even was cooking. When Marv is in there cooking, Jake the Great came in with the heat. And then Mark, that motherfucker is platinum. If you don't know about that joke, you gotta watch some boy live show. You gotta watch it. All right, super chats. No VOT show today, by the way, or Mo. Here we go. Lamont dropped one. I want to press the button, Lamont, but I ain't gonna do that.
Super chat.
He says Stone Cold Steel Austin. What?
What? What? What? What?
That mean that's literally what he said for the super chat. Appreciate you. Lamont dropped two. It says Stone Cold Steel Austin. What? Thank you, brother. Aaron dropped one. Oh, I got to get to your one from yesterday, right? Aaron. My bad, wrong button. Look, I'm ready for draft. I am prepping. Well, about to start prepping for the draft day show. If you missed the draft day show night 1 and night 2, you missed out on a fantastic show. So we're gonna try to make it better.
Super chat.
Aaron. If Bijan falls to the boys at 26 and they take him, boy, that's a great question. Would you rescind the tag on Tony Pollard? Damn it, I wish I didn't read that. I want to save that for next week. Yes, I want to save that for next week. Somebody remind me. Hey, Ron, hit me out. Remind me, because I want to talk about that with Foots. Damn, that's a good question, and I'm not going to answer. I know that's terrible, Ron, but I want to save that. That's content, man. It's that type of offseason.
Super chat.
Towboat Tie. Boston Scientific makes Sky a master debater. That's good, Towboat. Speaking of which, if you need some help in a certain area of your life and you're one of 39 million men that suffer from ED, contact Boston Scientific, y'all. edcure.org. That's all you got to do. To get started, you head on over to edcure.org, take the quiz, learn your severity or risk of ED. If you got a condition that puts you at a higher risk, you find customized content. Y'all should know that by now. The fastest way to find your best cure is to contact ED specialists by browsing a list of experienced physicians in your area. So visit edcure.org. Brought to you by Boston Scientific. Say it with me. It ain't hard, but you can be.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you. We'll do it live.
Hey, Towboat gave me the alley. I just had to oop. You gotta be quick on your toes and doing this live stuff, man. You give me the alley like Kobe, I'ma hoop it like Shaq. Salute to you, Towboat. CJ said, what am I doing this weekend? Look, fam, we chilling. This is like our time is crazy. What is it? Third week in the new crib. We haven't had a chance to just chill yet in the weekend. We've been doing stuff. Last week it was kind of a staycation in Texas. Well, not necessarily Texas, but staycation-ish. And this weekend I ain't doing nothing, man. I'm chilling. I might do some work. It ain't fun and it sounds boring, but I might start prepping for the draft, man. So not too much, brother. Not too much. Oh, I didn't miss the super Sully. I got you, brother. I got you. I just wanted to oop that alley. Sully dropped one. Now I need to get the other button ready. Here we go.
Super chat.
And said $5. Said we need to stop playing with D Hop. If he's willing to work his pay, why not tell Cardinals you'll take 70% and he's going to knock some millions off? So the reports, DeAndre Hopkins is willing to play for less than market value here in Dallas. Only here in Dallas, his preferred destination. I do think that would be the holdup, though, is how much of the money, the dead money, would the Cowboys be willing to take? Would the Cardinals be willing to take? That's the fight that they're going to be fighting. Rolo dropped one.
Super chat.
He said, what about Corey Davis for a late pick? He's still relevant? Feel like he hasn't been relevant for quite some time. I'd probably pass. And Aaron, was it yesterday? Man, it was a couple days ago, Aaron. I was supposed to. Yeah, it was a couple days ago, but I'm gonna still say it.
Super chat.
KJ response tweet was why'd they do this to me? Losing mentality. And what he's talking about, y'all, is when the Cowboys drafted this fella here and Gilly Locks. Kelvin Joseph went on Instagram Live or something and made a video and was been fighting for my life. Why y'all doing this to me? What do you mean, fam? You still on the team? You shook because you know Gilly Locks is better and you're probably not going to get a chance to start. But you had your opportunity. You had your opportunity in training camp last year. It didn't work. You had your opportunity in the season last year. It didn't work. They ain't cut you, so you still here. Get back in the lab. Work your ass off. And go try to get one of these spots. It's that simple. It's that simple. Cap said cut his ass right now. Yeah, that might not be far out the picture. But that'll do it for the super chats. And that'll do it for today's show. If you enjoyed today's program, or as Pat would say, program. If you enjoyed today's program, please hit that like button, man. We'll be back on Monday. No show on the volume later. No show with Mo for A to Z Sports Prime Time, but that does not mean you can't check out some of his work on A to Z Sports Dallas.com, our new look website. I think it's pretty sick. Like I said, I knew today's show would be fun. Some really good questions for this mailbag. So far, so good. Y'all been asking some really good questions, so I'm gonna keep this going for Friday, I think. Unless some breaking news or something happens, but I'm gonna keep this mailbag Friday going, Fan Friday going, and lean on y'all, man, and just have a good time with y'all before the weekend. Have a good time, you know. With that said, we're gonna hit this button and get up out of here. I'm chilling, man. Won't catch me doing nothing crazy this weekend, but if y'all doing something crazy, be safe. Be safe. Some crazy folk out here. Enjoy y'all weekend. Love y'all to death. Y'all the best, man. Truly. We out here. Peace. Man, we caught up on BMF. We about to start Snowfall over with Michelle. She ain't seen the beginning of Snowfall, so. By the way, shout out to the Mod Squad. Got to show y'all some love. Y'all been holding it down for quite some time now. Appreciate y'all. And also shout out to the Bomb Squad.